The birth of greatness. The gym lights flickered. A scrawny teenager in a red and black uniform stood outside the varsity locker room, trying to swallow his frustration. His name? Michael Jeffrey Jordan. The coach had just posted the roster. His name wasn't on it. Forgotten. Doubt crawled through him like a storm cloud. But instead of folding, he turned it into fire. That very night, he went home and cried in his room. Then he got up and began the journey. Hundreds of miles away, in a crumbling apartment in Akron, LeBron James was carrying burdens no child should. His mother, Gloria, worked multiple jobs just to keep a roof over their heads. They moved constantly. No stability, no promises. But LeBron had a gift, a strange mix of size, coordination, and vision. The ball listened to him. In the chaos of his young life, basketball was his only constant. Michael grew into a relentless competitor. He played with something raw, something personal. Every practice was a war. Every game, a statement. He wasn't just playing to win. He was playing to never be forgotten again. College scouts noticed. UNC called. Then, in 1982, as a freshman, he hit the game-winning shot in the NCAA championship. It was more than a moment. It was a warning. LeBron's path was different, but no less intense. He never made it to college. He didn't need to. By the time he was 17, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, dubbed the Chosen One. Cameras followed him everywhere. Pressure mounted like thunder. Everyone wanted to know, could he possibly be worth the hype? Could a teenager from the Rust Belt rewrite the rules of the game? While Jordan had to claw his way into greatness, LeBron had to carry the weight of it before he even arrived. Their stories were forged by different fires, one by rejection, the other by expectation. But both burned with a hunger to become more than just basketball players. They wanted to be immortal. As LeBron prepared for the NBA draft, comparisons to Jordan had already begun. He hadn't played a single pro minute, yet the shadow of number 23 loomed large. And deep down, LeBron knew, if he was ever going to be the best, he'd have to go through the best. This is where their stories begin to tangle. Two men, two eras, two different kinds of greatness. But only one title hangs above them, both like a crown made of fire. The greatest of all time. And so the question remains, how do you measure greatness? Is it forged in the silence of a cut roster? Or in the roar of a billion expectations? The making of legends. The NBA doesn't wait for you to grow. It either makes you or breaks you. Michael Jordan, fresh from college, entered the league in 1984 like a lightning bolt. Fearless, explosive, and already hunting. In his rookie season with the Chicago Bulls, he averaged over 28 points per game, instantly drawing crowds and cameras. But beneath the high-flying dunks and effortless fadeaways was a man obsessed with domination. Losing wasn't a setback, it was a scar. LeBron James arrived in 2003. His debut wasn't just a game. It was a spectacle. ESPN aired it live. Sold-out arena. Millions watching. And the 18-year-old didn't blink. He dropped 25 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds like he'd been born for this. He was smoother than expected, sharper than predicted. But behind the poise was a teenager navigating fame, money, and legacy. Before he even understood adulthood, Jordan's early years were plagued with frustration. The Pistons battered him. The Celtics overwhelmed him. For all his brilliance, he couldn't win yet. So he evolved. He lifted weights, hardened his body, sharpened his mind. By the time 1991 arrived, Jordan wasn't just the best player. He was a force of nature. He swept the Pistons. Then he lifted the championship trophy. And another. 3 in a row. A break. Then 3 more. 6 titles. 6 finals. Never defeated. LeBron's rise was less linear. He brought relevance to Cleveland, a city starving for hope. But when the team crumbled around him, the burden became too much. In 2010, he made the decision, a controversial move to Miami that changed the league. Critics called him disloyal. Fans burned his jersey. But in the fire, he forged a new version of himself, one that understood pain, patience, and pressure. With the Heat, LeBron became a champion. Twice, he turned doubt into dominance. He learned to close, to lead, and when he returned to Cleveland, he did what many thought impossible. Delivered a title to his hometown in 2016, coming back from a 3-1 finals deficit against a 73-win Warriors team. The block on Andre Iguodala became his signature, a symbol of resilience. Jordan's greatness was defined by absolute control. Every play, every possession. He didn't just want to beat you, he wanted to bury you. LeBron's greatness evolved through adaptability. Point guard or power forward, scorer or facilitator. He became whatever his team needed. Two legends, one built through fire and fists, the other through transformation and tenacity. The conflict now shifts. What defines the greatest? Is it the perfection of a career or the totality of a journey? Jordan was the standard. LeBron is the storm. But a storm doesn't end. It moves. It grows. Legacy etched in time. In the end, the numbers sit still, etched in record books, carved into banners, immortalized on jerseys. Michael Jordan and LeBron James both rewrote history. But legacies aren't just measured in statistics. They're felt in the silence before a shot, in the echo of a generation. Jordan's resume reads like mythology. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 10 scoring titles, a defensive player of the year, and 2 three-peats. More than dominance, it was perfection. Every time he reached the NBA Finals, he left with the trophy. Every time he stepped on the court, you felt the gravity shift. He wasn't just the best player. He made you feel lesser for not being him. LeBron's legacy, by contrast, is a marathon. For championships, for MVPs, all-time leading scorer. 20-plus seasons of excellence. He didn't dominate a single era. He bridged them. From battling Tim Duncan in his early years to trading blows with Stephen Curry's Warriors to mentoring a new generation. LeBron has become basketball's constant. Not always flawless, but always present. Their impact stretches far beyond hardwood. Jordan became an icon, a brand, a symbol, a global ambassador of cool. His Air Jordan shoes transformed the business of sport. He made basketball a cultural language. LeBron became a leader, a philanthropist, a voice for the voiceless, the founder of a school for underprivileged kids in his hometown. His mission wasn't just to win, but to uplift. Yet even as both reached unprecedented heights, the GOAT debate raged louder. Fans argued rings. Analysts dissected efficiency. Players gave reverence, but always with a hint of comparison. Jordan's legend was built in blood and brilliance, defined by his refusal to fail. He made you believe invincibility was possible, if you worked hard enough and wanted it badly enough. He never lost on the biggest stage. His legacy is sealed like a time capsule, flawless, finite. LeBron's legend is still unfolding, defined by evolution. He isn't chasing ghosts, he's building bridges. His ability to shift roles, lead broken teams, and extend his prime into his late 30s is almost unnatural. But some say he's lost too many finals, that his path was too political, too calculated, that he couldn't live in the shadow of number 23. But maybe the question was never who's better. Maybe it's what kind of greatness resonates with you more. The relentless assassin or the adaptable genius. The man who never failed on the final stage, or the one who kept returning to it no matter the cost. Their legacies don't mirror each other. They reflect two different versions of transcendence. And in that reflection, we don't just see players. The court of eternity. Imagine this. A silent gym. No fans. No cameras. Just a worn wooden floor beneath a single spotlight. At one end, Michael Jordan, lacing up his iconic black and red sneakers. At the other, LeBron James, adjusting his headband, eyes locked in. There is no scoreboard. No clock. Just two men, and the weight of two eras colliding. In this imagined moment, neither speaks. They don't have to. Their legacies already echo louder than any voice. Jordan dribbles once, controlled, deliberate. He steps back and fades away. The shot as smooth as memory. Swish. LeBron